Yes. Okay. Interesting too. Like the reason I wanted to also bring up Diaspora is how it manifests in art. Like I feel like that you've taught me about this recently. So actually, instead of me going off, do you want to speak more about that? What do you think the connection is between Diaspora and art? And I think you remember when you were trying to explain to me about that, obviously that thing that woman is putting on. I said a lot of things in something because I don't remember any names, and I'm trying to like say something from memory with like no names.
So I remember sending you something on Instagram. No, I remember sending you something on Instagram about the woman. I can't remember her name
Yes,
either.
but
I'm
her.
so sorry.
Yes, and she's talking about this Diaspora and also in art. Talk to me about that. What's the connection there? Is there a connection there?
No, but I was saying to you, look, all her ideas for her art are coming from her experience. She's mapping out her experience through her art, like literally just making it visual, but also telling her story, because as an artist you also get to tell your version of you get to tell your reality, and people are interested because you made this beautiful thing, and this is the reason you made this beautiful thing. And I just find that so I find that fascinating.
Let me ask a ridiculous question then. What is art to you?
No question is ridiculous.
No question is a bad question in this
Don't
class.
be silly.
There's no stupid questions.
No stupid questions.
What is art to you? What does art mean to you in the grand scheme of things?
Art, to me, feels like a documentation of the history of everything. Because I do feel like what your question is, all your experiences, like all art is just a documentation of someone's experience of something.
And is the way they express that onto something else. Do you think that the only way human beings can understand themselves is through art? You know what I'm trying to say?
Some people aren't creative in that sense, but some are. And I guess it's those people's way. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yeah. So like for a select group of people who are built like that.
Yeah, because some people just don't even like art.
And they can just function without.
And they're fine, you know. It's not like.
Do you think so though? Do you think they're fine? Do you think there's not a part of them that could be more developed if they took on an artistic expression?
I think there is potential for that, but some people, if they are content, not. There's other, like music. Well, music counts as art as well.
I mean, there's also.
But I mean physical art, like.
Okay.
Making like stuff. Painting or drawing or like looking at art. But then there are, I don't know, everyone has that.
Their way of
that. What is it? Calling? Is it like a calling?
You're right. It's difficult to put the name on it, right? Because I was gonna say purpose, but some people don't look at it as a purpose. They just it's something
like
they
passion?
do. Yeah, exactly. It's like a passion. But some people take that and make a whole business out of it because that's just how they are programmed.
Smart.
You know,
yeah.
It's a lot of work. But no, there's nothing. Because the reason, I'll go with that. The reason I'm so interested in asking this question about art was because I think recently I've been getting more and more into African art and understanding that. Because obviously growing up, I went to a lot of I went to the museum in central London, so like I saw a lot of like European art, and that was my preconception of art. You know, but obviously you've introduced me, and I've also introduced myself into like new African art, and I'm just seeing just like how it's telling the story of our people. You're one of the first people. Yes, you're one of the first people. No, because we would go to the galleries and you'd be like, "This is cool as fuck," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I never even knew Africans did art like this." Because you don't.
Teach you something?
Of course, you teach me all the time. That's crazy. But no, it's true. It's true. Literally, like introducing me to African art, introducing me to like the idea that our culture is being represented this way. You know, that was always interesting to me. And like, I'm starting to think, what is there a difference? Yeah, here's the question I have then: is there a difference between African art and European art in its essence? Like, obviously they make there's obviously different cultures, but do they make the art for different reasons? And if that's the case, what does that mean for art? Like, what does that mean for people? Like, you know, for people who are like looking at art and like what they can glean from that? Because like, do we, as like non-natives, even though we're natives, you know what I mean? But like looking at it from a different perspective, do we now have to look back, like we were speaking before, look back on these art and able to understand our own culture? You know, like the only way we can understand our culture isn't through the language, because they can't speak our language or we can't speak theirs or whatever. But we can look at the art that they made for a long time, and that kind of infer what Africa was about, or all of that stuff there. Do you think that's the case or not?
Or not.
Or not. A little bit more fashion. I know. It's too late.
Okay.
Had enough. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It works better. No, absolutely. I think your point to connecting diaspora to this. Am I right? Just so I know.
Go on. Yes.
Is because, are you saying that through art we're seeing like the diaspora unfold? Is that your point?
Yes.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
Yeah.
Do you think that's the only way we can understand our own culture now? You know, because like we were speaking before, there's going to be a disconnect between.
What do you mean the only way?
I guess like
The
like,
key.
Yeah, it's like the key.
Is that the key?
It's the one piece. It's like no, I guess like because as I've seen, right, as our cultures more and more differs from our parents, right? Like there is no the only thing we keep maybe is the how we teach the things we teach them or whatever, whatever the fuck. But there's also like there's nothing for us to show our kids and be like, this is what Africa, this is what your culture is about. This is maybe because we're losing that connection between us and our grandparents, who maybe they were like so embedded into the culture that was just all they knew. You know, it's like we're creating a new culture in a sense, like, and how do we still remain attached to that? Or do you feel like that's not really an issue?
No, that's a big question.
Yeah.
That's a very big question, Jeffrey. Your mind is mad.
But no,
Your
but you
mind is
understand
mad.
what I'm
I do
trying to,
I do understand what you're trying to say. And I absolutely think you're right, because we see it across like visual art. We see it across music. We see it across, you can read the time by the art produced during that time, because it reflects the norms of the time,
Exactly.
the ideals of the time,
Exactly.
And I think if you're curious enough to want to go and investigate, there's like literally no end to what you can find out about things, about the diaspora, about all the different communities that have developed all over the world, like pockets of people, of cultures,
It's mad, isn't it? What advice would you give to people like going through that transition that we've just been talking about, where maybe they came from a different culture and they're here now and they have to adapt to this new culture? How did you do it, or what advice would you give to someone else who's doing it?
I think I still struggle with it. Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. They're like out in droves. I think I got that on this guy.
I think, I still struggle with it because it's still a learning process, because there's still some things that I'm here and it's such a culture shock. But I will, for example, say to my younger cousin, oh, this thing is awful. It's not like how we treat it at home. Like, it's different here. And then I guess that's how you just
remind them. Yeah.
Pass down the knowledge. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Pass down the teaching. Like every generation is still making sense of it, I think, as you go. But you're learning from past generations, I guess.
It's not, I was just thinking about it. It's interesting too. It's still so crazy. Like, I'm having a conversation, but this is like very real things that I've thought about in my life. So like, I'm having realizations in real time, and I'm having to like deep it, and it's like, no, come back, you can think about that later. But no, it's so true. It's so true, because I worry about that a lot. Oh my God. It's fine. We just have to keep going. We just have to keep going. These are just the conditions. This is like Africa. We're recreating Africa. Having a conversation. But then there's things around that can kill you.
Come here, okay?
We're supposed to. It's bringing you home. It's reminding you of home. It's fine. You know, it's just our cultures never leave us. You could take the girl out of Africa. You never take Africa away from the girl. Okay, to round off the point about art, talk to me about Jean-Michel Basquiat. What is your interest in his art? What do you think of his art? And how are you introduced to him?
Okay, so this is something that we are at the very beginnings of learning about. I don't know much about him. I know his work was very political. I know he was an activist. I know I love the look of his art. Like, I love his style. I love that most of them are, or he has a series from the 1984 that's mainly based on jazz musicians and has like little Easter eggs, and one's called King Zulu. Yeah. So that's the one that we're gonna see soon. We're gonna see soon coming. Barca 2024.
I actually can't wait. But no, let's not get sidetracked. Basquiat and art.
So we're gonna learn more about him. So more to come on Basquiat. But I think visually I enjoy his art, and I know it's someone that I do want to learn more about. But I find that I learn best when I immerse myself in something. So that's why
you want to really get into it, yeah.
Got a book, Jeffrey. So
initially, what's the thing that grips you about his art? I know you mentioned
the vision, the look of his art. Also the association with jazz. I think the saxophone is probably my favorite instrument ever. Like, I can't. I love the saxophone. I love the saxophone.
Is that the one instrument you would like to play?
I love it.
Is that the one instrument? Is that the one instrument that you would like to play? I can cut it out, so it's fine. I don't know why.
No, I don't think I'd want to play it. I think